Welcome to Great American Health.
What are some of the things we should be concerned about in talking about perhaps calcium and magnesium deficiencies?
Well, first of all, with calcium, I think a lot of people aren't aware that the importance it has in our vitality. Calcium is essential for nerve function, heartbeat, muscle function as well. So you need to get it from somewhere. So where does the body get it? It either gets it from your diet or your bones. And when you're not eating enough in your diet, where does it go? Your bones, because that's your calcium bank account. So we really need to make sure that we get enough.
I think it's a very important point and one that gets overlooked a lot, and I've talked about this and we've discussed this before. And so let's really get clear on this. The bones are like your bank account. And like anything else, if you're in an emergency situation, you got to pay your mortgage, you're going to go to the bank account and you're going to dip into that savings. Well, the bloodstream maintains this very, very narrow amount of calcium that it needs for heart function, for muscle function, and it will do anything to maintain that because it's vital for staying alive, like paying your mortgage.
That's right.
So if you fall beneath that, it will go right into the bank account, into the bones.
Take withdrawal.
And take a withdrawal, which you don't want.
Which you don't want.
So this is a very important thing that you bring up.
And depending on your diet, depends on how many withdrawals you take from your bank account. And you don't want to be left with a balance that's zero, because if you do, then you're compromising the integrity of your bone strength. And once that happens, you're more prone to conditions such as osteoporosis.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about another mineral that's vitally important for this synergy, magnesium. Why is magnesium so important?
Well, magnesium is responsible for 300 reactions in the body. And so what does that mean? If you don't have enough magnesium in your body, there are 300 biochemical reactions that are affected.
That are magnesium dependent.
That are magnesium dependent. So what does magnesium do? It relaxes the muscles. And I'm talking about your lower back, your shoulders, your neck, your legs, in and around the digestive system, wherever there's muscles. So these are areas that your body starts to cramp up. Of course, these are where your muscles are. If you have a deficiency in magnesium, it may cause occasional constipation, occasional insomnia, minor leg cramps. There's a widespread deficiency in the United States.
What about calcium tablets?
Really a good litmus test to see how well you're absorbing calcium is to see how you feel. Are your muscles relaxed? Do you feel a difference in your muscles? Because that's a testament of how well that calcium is not getting absorbed in your system. Calcium and magnesium help to naturally relax the muscles.
How does all this relate to osteoporosis? We hear so much about calcium, magnesium in the same sentence as osteoporosis. What's the relationship?
They're tied at the hip, so to speak, if you will. The statistics are startling. According to the National Institute of Health, osteoporosis is a major health risk. It affects 44 million Americans, 68% of which are women. And of these 44 million Americans, 10 million already have osteoporosis, 34 million of which have low bone mass and are approaching osteoporosis. And in addition to that, osteoporosis is responsible for 1.5 million fractures annually. And because of pictures worth 1,000 words, here's a picture of healthy bone versus osteoporotic bone. Look at the difference here. As you can see, the difference is striking.
Very well put. I'm sure everybody appreciates this potentially life-changing information you've shared with us today, Stefan.
Thanks for having me on with you.
It's been a pleasure.